Welcome to Hill Country Happenings News Moments. This week at the Farmers Market, we had a chance to speak to Miss Wendy Garrison. Now, Miss Garrison is known as Miss Slide Guitar because she plays the guitar with a metal slide, and it gives it a distinct sound. She even talks about how the guitar sings, because sometimes people say they really like her singing, but she hasn't sung at all. In fact, Miss Wendy has a voice problem, and it's called spasmodic dysphonia. And she'll tell us a little bit about that and how you can get in touch with the national group, which is you go online and look up nsda.org, and it tells you about different support groups that are available and also tells you about an annual meeting. She said they're so much fun to go to because there are people all around that talk just like they do. She played a wonderful set of guitar for us at the market, and I can't wait to share this with you. Now, the area schools are starting back in the next week or so. And on August the 2nd, they are having Meet the Teacher from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at all the Union County schools. This is a great opportunity for you to introduce your student to the teachers that are going to be interacting with them all year and teaching them. You can also get a feel for the teacher and how you think that they're going to react with your children. It's just a wonderful opportunity to bring the community together and start the bonding process. Also, at the Baptist Hospital here in town, on August the 11th, they're going to have a back to school health fair. They're going to have health screenings. They're also going to have a teddy bear clinic. They're going to have the emergency vehicles for the kids to tour, a fire truck, ambulance, and police cars. Even a helicopter is going to be set there for them to come and look at it to see what's happening with all these different vehicles. Now, this week we spoke with a young entrepreneur here in town, Mr. Michael James. Michael James is the one that is refurbishing the old RVs that you see over on Snyder Street, and you can see them back underneath the railroad bridge when you're at the Bankhead and Main intersection. Now, he is doing some wonderful things with these old RVs, and we can't wait to share his story with you. We also have a special treat this week from Union County Health and Rehab, a wheelchair parade. Now, the residents took their wheelchairs and they decorated them up, and then they paraded them around. They also had, for judges, a highway patrol. How much fun is that? We hope you enjoy the segment, so stay tuned to watch. Thank you for joining us here today on Hill Country Happenings News Moments. Be sure to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe so you don't miss any of our original programming. Follow us on Facebook, and you can go to our website at www.hillcountrynetwork.net. I know we've had some people say they can't find our website, but it's .net, not .com. So that's hillcountrynetwork.net. Also, you can email me here at evelyn@hillcountrynetwork.net, and we would love to hear from you. Please share your stories with us so that we can report them and share them with our viewers. And we hope you have a wonderful day.
Yes, I'm Wendy Jean Garrison, and I live in Oxford, Mississippi. Well, I've been playing for the guitar, does the singing, but I've been playing for over 30 years, slide guitar. Yeah, I started when I first moved to Mississippi in 1987. Well, the difference is it's the same. There are all sorts of different ways to do it, but the way I do it, it's the same guitar as a regular guitar. But for one thing, I tune it differently. So I play an open E tuning with E, B, G sharp, B, E, so that when you strum it, it plays a chord. Now, on a regular guitar, you'd strum across it and it would just sound like a mess. But with open tuning, which is what I use with slide guitar, you have the open chord, and then you can bar it. If we're filming, it's the slide, so I can put this across the frets and get different chords and also different notes. Well, the way that I learned how to play that is when I first moved to Mississippi, I went into the blues archive on the campus of the University of Mississippi, And I asked if somebody could teach me blues guitar. And the person there, Walter Liniger, he did not consider himself to be a guitarist, but he started teaching me some slide guitar. And he told me some places to go to listen to slide guitar, such as Rust College and some of the earlier blues festivals. And at the time I played regular guitar, but the more I played slide guitar, the more people liked it, and the more feedback I got that people liked it. So the more feedback I got, the more I started to try to work really hard on it. I've never been a singer, and so people always, even after they've heard me for years, they say, well, we really liked your singing, and I just let it go, because to me that's a great compliment, because it was the guitar that was doing the singing. It's hard to say a favorite, but I've started to like some of the gospel songs, like I played In the Garden, that's a beautiful one, or Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross. It's just a good slide song, and it has a lot of meaning to it, and I've played it at church many times. And then on the blues side of things, probably Dust My Broom is one of my favorites. Elmore James did an awesome version of that early on, and a lot of people have covered it. Well, one of the people that I played with that taught me a lot was a blues man from Abbeville, and his name is Bill Howlin' Mad Perry. Do you know him? Anyway, I got an apprenticeship with him from the Mississippi Arts Commission. Gave me an apprenticeship to work with him, whereby they paid him for his time, and I got the benefit of learning from him. So I went over to his home, and he also took me on gigs that he and his band had all across North Mississippi. So in the Delta, Clarksdale, Indianola. He doesn't play so much in Oxford or Abbeville. He mostly plays in the Delta. So I learned from him a lot. And then currently I play with a band called Maybell's Lovers. It's 4 women, and it's original songs. We have a singer-songwriter, bass and drums, and the drummer is also a singer. So I play with those women. I've been playing with them for about 10 years. And then I've been in a number of local bands, other local bands in Oxford since 1996. I have not traveled outside the country to play. That is something I would love to do, but I can't seem to quite figure out how to do it. So yeah, I admire people who do that, and I think people in Europe would be open to that music. I know that people in Europe love blues, but I haven't done that. I haven't traveled outside the country, just a little bit in the country. Well, I've mostly played in northern Mississippi. I've played some in Tennessee, in New Orleans, and I played for not big venues, mostly smaller venues. I like to play at venues like this, where the music just sort of drifts over. I like to play at art gallery receptions, cocktail parties, somewhat, some street musician things. That's kind of fun. So the smaller venues or the local bars and restaurants with the band. I appreciate every single person who comes out and listens to live music, and I appreciate every single venue that hires local musicians to play and just promotes it. Oxford has done that a lot. There's a great music scene in Oxford, and it's because of the local venues, and now more and more venues outside of Oxford, such as New Albany, are also doing that. And it just means the world to musicians to be able to get out and have an audience and be appreciated. So that's what I would really like the viewers to know. So I'd like to thank them if they've come out and listened to live music.
Hi everyone, I'm Cindy with Hill Country Network, and I have been today to the Union County Health and Rehab, where Rita Thompson is activity director here, and we have had so much fun. They have had a wheelchair pageant today, and I'm going to introduce this gentleman. He is a family member of one of the winners of today's pageant. But first, let me ask you, Rita, how did this get started? Whose idea was it, and how many years have you done this?
Actually, this is a national activity. It's a National Decorate Your Wheelchair Month, July. And I've been doing this for probably 4 years. It was an idea that I came up with, and the residents and family members seem to enjoy it. So we do that every year now. And it's a lot of work.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
And it takes a lot of time, and you know, our staff, we have limited time, and we have volunteers, which are Home Care Hospice Company. They also helped us today. So we had help with families and friends and other staff members. They've really helped us.
That's great. I'm sure the residents here are really look forward to it.
Yes, they do. I mean, you ask them if they want to participate in it, and they're ready to do so. No hesitation. They said, let's do it.
Did most of the participants that you have here, I'm not sure, how many do you have?
Oh, the facility,
Yes.
Our census is 54 at the moment. Okay. So we have 54 residents and they also, some are long-term care and some short-term care that have therapy. We have a good therapy department. I think they show really good improvement when they visit that.
I bet. So, it seems like it helps them mentally as well as physically too.
Yes, it does.
What exactly, I know this facility's been here just a little while, but tell us exactly what it is, for those that don't know what this facility does. What do you do here?
Well, first of all, if we have a resident that comes in, well, they have to get all the paperwork done and all the requirements to come in, and for skilled services, and some, like I said, are long-term, and just any kind of medical rehabilitation that they need. Activities is a good thing, and you know, we have a good nursing staff. CNAs they're very good. A team effort to keep it going.
Is it something, you've mentioned residents, long-term residents, so some people stay here a length of time, and some, do they come in and out like by the day, or is it, you know, just a week or so until they get better or reach a certain point?
Well, there's a 20-day that they can stay, and I think Medicare provides 100 days altogether, and they can have 100 days skilled services.
I think I'd want to stay. They have a lot of fun here.
Charge. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for standing here. So you have a family member here. So tell us your name and just anything that you want to about this facility, what they've done, how, you know, the members like it. And
Okay, I'm Paul Nolan. I have a brother that's a resident here. His name is Gerald. And Gerald has been here over 2 years now. And Gerald had been in other facilities before coming here, but this is a wonderful facility. Any facility that we have been in, and get to the point in life you have to come to a place like this, and in this area, this is a good one. And the staff and all are so kind. Rita is a wonderful activity leader, and she is always either putting on something or planning something all the time, and so she's worth a lot to this facility. And there's a lot of good things going on here, and like my brother, he just won in this wheelchair contest, and I'm elated, and he is too. And so how can you do better than this? And at this point in life, and so we're real pleased with the situation here that he has, and it's not hard. It's not a chore to come and visit here. So
I bet everyone seems so like a family atmosphere, you know, in a way, from what I've seen today. Well, thank you very much for talking to us.
Give me a chance to praise Union County Health and Rehab.
Absolutely. And we do thank you. And thank you for filling us in on this great facility. And I look forward to next year's parade.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll be putting it on my
Don't
calendar.
wait until next year. We'll have more things
Oh,
this year.
what are you working on?
Oh, well, right now it's in limbo, but we go to Jackson. We have a resident convention in Jackson that we go to in September, so we'll be working on crafts and artwork and things like that for, to present down there, and they have always won something, first, second, or third place. We'll take anything, but the residents put their hard work into it, and it's judged, and it's a day event that's my next big thing coming up. And then we have a dress up at Halloween. It's something all the time, and a big supper at Christmas. Families, we have all the families here, so we have a lot of events going on.
That's great. I have a feeling our viewers are going to get to see a lot more of Union County Health and Rehab. Well, thank you so much again. And thank you guys for watching. And I'm Cindy with Hill Country Network.
My name is Anita Aliff, and I am here with the New Albany High School Career and Tech Center, and today we focused on tomatoes, and we had a little savory tomato tart as well as a mini BLT, and we kind of mixed up our own mayonnaise mixture with fresh basil and a little dry ranch seasoning in it, cream cheese to put on it. So much of what we do in culinary is team building, because it takes everybody united working on a project. So individually you may adapt your skills, but for a whole meal, different ones would be working in different parts of it. So there'll be a lot of team building, getting to know each other and knowing what your strengths are and your weaknesses. And then of course safety is the most important part. We'll spend almost 6 weeks on safety in the workforce for restaurant and culinary arts. So it's pretty in-depth. That'll be the first thing they'll all work on. I usually try to have at least one set of competitors from my Culinary 1, just to have somebody who can kind of get through for the next year. Just helps everybody. And we've always done really well at competition, but they'll still have a review of safety before we get started, but their chapters are more in depth of what we actually study, because we'll talk about meat and how to fabricate it, a whole cow, the different pieces. We spend a lot of time on creams and sauces, a lot of global cuisine, so things are more in detail than in Culinary 1.
what's your name?
Bob Russell.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I know Bob Russell well. So tell me about your bee stuff here. I mean, it's not just honey anymore. What all y'all got going on?
Well, we've got lip balm, hand cream, candles, several salves, soap.
I use this stuff. It's wonderful.
It's mostly all natural products, as natural as we can make it for the most part.
How long have you been?
About 25 years.
You've been doing it so long, but you don't even look 25.
I'm about 53.
Oh my gosh! See what this bee product does for you? Tell them about the bee stings.
The bee venom is supposedly anti-aging.
I believe it. Look at him.
Evidence in that, but
He looks 25. What else you want to tell me? How many hives you got around town?
there's around 120, all in Union County. It goes up and down a little bit, but
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Well, what's your favorite part about beekeeping? Is it meeting people like me?
my favorite part is actually being out in the yard, outside working.
I appreciate the way you weed eat it and stuff.
Well, you got to keep them looking decent, especially when you bring them out to people's houses and they host your yards for you.
I appreciate that. He weed eats around the beehives, so I don't have to, which is nice.
The bees don't think it's so nice, but they'll be all right.
They hadn't gotten after me yet. People worry about bees swarming and things, but I haven't had any of that happen at my house.
A bee swarm is generally not aggressive. When they swarm, they're reproducing, and they don't have a hive to protect, so they're not so aggressive for the most part. If you see a wad of bees hanging in a tree, call a beekeeper. They'll most likely come get them. Don't mess with them, but they're not going to get after you or anything.
Good to know. So I've noticed that when I wear a blue shirt in the garden, they come sit on me.
Now, they're attracted to certain colors. They don't see colors the same way people do. It's kind of like colorblind, but they're attracted to certain colors, that attractive flower type thing.
I'm an attractive flower. So tell me what kind of bees you raise.
They're just honeybees. They're just considered mutts. They're probably Italian descent, but there's Italian, Russian, and German bees all in the United States.
Okay.
Are imported. They're not naturally in the Americas anyway.
Good to know. Thank you. Thank you. What's your name?
Bob Russell.
Oh, yeah. Bob Russell here with the Beekeepers. Beekeepers of America.
Hi everyone, I'm Cindy with Hill Country Network, and this is Cindy Incidentally. Today I'm in New Albany with Michael James, who does a great job in refurbishing and rebuilding old vintage campers. And I'm going to let him tell you about what he does and a little about his background and how he came to do this. So Michael, how long have you been refurbishing campers?
Well, I've been at this shop for 3 years. The old vintage camper came about. People brought them to me to have them fixed. They couldn't really find anywhere else. Dealerships don't work on vintage campers like this. I didn't really know that I was going to like it as much as I have until I started building them for people. As soon as you completely tear one down and restore it, your confidence builds in them, and I really enjoyed doing it. And then, I put out ads to find old vintage campers, and I have a few now that I love them. I really enjoy them, and people enjoy them. You take a small 12, 16-foot camper, which isn't, you buy a new one, it's 20, 26 foot. You can actually haul these campers with your SUV instead of owning a big truck and having, that kind of thing to deal with.
So many people love the vintage look, and from everything from clothing to campers. And so it's a great opportunity for people to know that they can get vintage campers too, taking something old and making something new out of it. And I suppose that it would be really hard to find parts to old campers. I mean, I know it's, when you have an old car or something, it's, you have to go through a series of things sometimes trying to find a replacement part. And I assume that it's the same thing for campers. Is that true?
Yes, it is. Not all the old vintage campers that I buy, I'm going to restore. A lot of the ones that I do restore are the desired ones. I have a 50s Hobbyville, which is a canned ham, which is one of the most desired canned hams of all. I'll buy 25, 26 foot 70s campers. I need the windows, I need the doors, I need the old school oven. They even have, which you're not going to find nowadays, is a stovetop with an oven up top. I mean, the things people don't see is what they want in their campers.
Yeah, I bet. And what is a canned ham?
Canned ham looks like a canned ham.
Okay.
It's
oh, I know.
It's
I know
it's
what
pretty
you
much
mean.
just rounded all the way around.
Well, tell us a little bit about your background. I know you were in Afghanistan for a while, and thank you for your service. And then what, sparked your interest in doing what you do?
We called up South Haven RV and said, do y'all need upholstery people? I'm like, yeah, we do, definitely. So it'd be a little bit of time before my dad could go in there, so the owner of South Haven RV said, hey, just send your son in here, try to learn this stuff. About 4 months being into it, the owner changed his mind, didn't really want upholstery people, didn't want to go about that, and came to me and said, hey, you want to stay? And I'm like, yeah, I enjoy doing this, so I definitely want to stay. And I did about 2 years there. Then I went over to Camping World, and I did about 6 months because I wasn't really happy. So it's like, well, since I've been young and since I was 18, I was running my dad's shop, and it makes a lot more sense for me to actually own my own business than it is to work for someone else. So that was about 4.5, 5 years ago. And every day is a different thing. I mean, one day you're working on electrical, one day you're working on plumbing, one day you're putting a roof on. Next day you might be trying to find some time to restore an old vintage camper.
Tell us a little bit about the ice cream truck that you've done.
Definitely.
Tell us about that.
Her name's Becca. She's out of Oxford. She bought an old vintage camper, and she had this, and she wanted to turn it into an ice cream food truck. She paid a little bit for it and then brought it to me and said, hey, I want to turn this into an ice cream food truck. And we got into it. There was rotten walls, rotten framing, and not to break the bad news to her, I was like, hey, we got to go all the way through with this thing. So we did. And that was my first complete rebuild. That's the one that really built my confidence. That's the one that I really fell in love with these things. I love how they're built. I would much rather sit there and build an electrical system and build a plumbing system and reframe a camper. I do enjoy working on newer campers, but the quality of newer campers is not the same as the quality of an older camper. I have old campers out here from the 50s. You try to take a new camper, look at it in 20 years, it might not even be here. The quality's not there. People actually, they came out and they designed them, and they just like, hey, I really want to make this one. I really want to make it cool. And it's just a completely different game than, new. And that's why people want them. You just take a look at an old vintage camper and it's like, man, that's really cool. A lot of people don't have them, and they don't have them completely restored the way that I do them. You might buy one, someone might say, hey, more so they did a makeover on it. They didn't reframe it. They didn't put new floors in it. They didn't do new bearings and the wheels and things like that, but it's been restored. When someone comes and picks one up from me, you can take it across country. It's ready.
That's great. That's great. And hopefully a lot of people will see this. And what is the number if someone wanted to get in touch with you?
662-266-2990. We buy vintage campers. Just give me a call. I'll take a look at it. It is my passion. It is what I really like to do, and I plan on doing it for quite a long time.
I've heard other people say about campers that the old ones, you don't find them.
Mississippi, people don't throw anything away. And I'll drive up 348, I'll drive up old 78. They're on the side of the road. And I'll go up there and I'll hand them a card. Some people are like, I'll never get rid of it.
Want to keep it?
I get it, I do. But there are those other ones I buy them from, and they really just want them to go to a good home. They want someone to bring it back to its glory and someone actually use it.
Well, thank you for talking to me today.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to come back and see some of the progress you make on some of those campers,
Definitely.
and we will let you know. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Cindy with Hill Country Network.